Yes, welcome to the third
stop of the European Freestyle Pro Tour.
We're calling it the third, yeah. The third, third stop on the European Freestyle Pro Tour for 2021. Last time you saw me, my name is Sandy, was in Austria at the start of the year. Obviously, I'm joined by. Are you the CEO, the big boss, the big kahuna, the big chief? Any of them works. Of course, you all know him, Mr. Adam Sims is joining me. How are we feeling? We're here.
Pleasure, yeah, thanks Andy. Yeah, I mean, we're here, and fantastic location. Stoked to be here in this new destination for the tour. I mean, we haven't been here, the tour was in Rhodes a long time ago. I found out actually when we arrived. And but not here in this location at the Surf and Kite Theologos, and it's been great. I've been here a few days early, seeing the guys training. We'll pull in some of the guys soon and have interviews with them, and you'll hear all about the conditions. So
yeah, I mean, so far I've not managed to see it when it's been windy, but obviously myself, and I'm sure a lot of you have been checking out the Instagram at EFP Tour, and you've been seeing all of the clips of quite a few of the guys, specifically the top sort of riders, came out here a few days early. And just to get used to the conditions and try and get back into that competition mode, because whilst we did the tow-in competition in Switzerland, it's been a while since, well, it's been a few months. Austria was the last one for all the riders.
Yeah, since the windsurfing competition with the freestyle windsurfing, and Austria. I mean, and how was Austria? I mean, what a closeout of that event, and an exciting finish on that event. I mean, right down to the last final,
to the wire,
final gust, to the final sunset hour.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
It was the 14-minute super final between Jacopo Testa and Amado stealing it in the last 5 seconds, just catching a lucky gust, and just that one culo was all he needed to give him, a minimal amount of points of a point to get him through and snatch the victory from Jacopo Testa. And as again, many of you will know, Jacopo Testa, he calls this place home in the summer quite a lot, doesn't he? He spends a lot of time here during the lead up to this event. You may have seen we posted a few of his videos from here previously to give you guys an idea of the conditions and show what this place has to offer. So yeah, he'll be looking to, I won't say make a comeback, because he came second. He still did pretty well, but he'll be looking to really put his mark on this event.
Stepping up a notch, I
absolutely.
Mean, that's what he wants. I mean, but there's a lot of guys here that want that, and the talent is the fleet is packed. So we have 33 competitors in the men's side. We have 6-7 girls, 6-7 juniors.
It's amazing.
So full fleet, over 40 riders here, and it's going to be a really exciting few days. So
it's a great mix. It's a great mix as well. Yeah, I mean, we'll get onto the forecast in a minute, but keeping with what you've said there about the fleet, it's such a great mix. We've got obviously all the usual suspects, all of the kind of European pros, but also Galito Estredo's here.
Yep.
He didn't join us in Austria. Obviously, he's moved over to RRD now. We'll be very excited to chat to him in depth later. But yeah, moved to RRD, kind of basing himself out of Lake Garda. But yeah, he's come down. So you've got him, who's a multiple times world champion. I've lost count of how many times. Nine times. Thank you. Yeah. So he's a 9 times world champion. But also, we've got these young kids who are just getting into competition and giving it a go, and they've made their way out here to Rhodes.
I mean, that's been awesome to see. We had the rookies camp running before this, on the weekend before, and it's super awesome to see these keen rookies. I had just a few guys and a girl signed up, and I mean, they're motivated. 3 days of action, coached by our head coach Julian Wiemer. Jacopo Testa helping out. Even Yentel was there, Stephen was there. It was really some high-class coaching.
Well, I mean, if you look at any other sport in the world, what sport in the world offers you? You come to a rookies camp and you think, I'm going to get a bit better. There'll be some cool instructors, and you're being coached by genuine world champions. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to see. I mean, I know they had a great time in Austria when we did it, and it was really successful. So it's great to see. And then of course, there's always a prize for the rookies. They win a board. So each brand, or certain brands that support the tour, have been donating a freestyle board to give to the winner of the rookies camp in Austria. It was a JP.
Yeah.
And then here it is AV boards. So Jacopo Testa's board sponsor, and we gave away a 94, I believe, wasn't it? A 94. It's called the Turn.
The Turn,
which is their freestyle board.
Yeah, to the two Polish brothers.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we couldn't decide. They were just, they were passionate. They were there all the time and keen. So it was really cool to see them. And they're going to be competing as well in the juniors. So.
Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the forecast. You briefly mentioned it there. So today, local time, we're at 5:36. So we're getting towards the end of the day today. Unfortunately, we've not really had any conditions, but it looks like we're not getting a repeat of Austria where we'll wait for the last day. No. It's looking like tomorrow the wind's going to start picking up, so fingers crossed. Tomorrow we're going to try and run some of the juniors and hopefully the women's and maybe even a couple of rounds of the men.
I'm sure. I mean, the forecast now, all the locals have been raving about it actually for quite a few days, and they're really stoked on what's to come. And actually, I even heard today that's improved a bit. So I didn't even have time to check myself. But I just listened to the locals and other guys who come here regularly. You know, Jentel, Jacopo, listen to them and they know the score. So it looks like we're going to have 3 good days of competition. Maybe a little bit on Sunday as well. We'll see. But I mean, tomorrow is going to be kicking off with the juniors, the ladies, and maybe we get through some of the rounds of the men's single elimination as well. So some excitement to come, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Fingers crossed we're going to be bringing you 3 or 4 days of full action. So make sure that you are staying tuned, guys. So wherever you are watching this, whether it's on our YouTube channel or over on our Facebook page, please give it a like, a share, a follow, all of the above. And we really appreciate that, and it means that you guys will be notified as well, so you won't miss any of the action. You can also follow us on @EFP Tour. It's always difficult saying that. You always want to say EFPT, but @EFP Tour, and you can follow along, and you can keep an eye on our stories and the posts as well to keep an eye for the action. So, Adam, what's the plan for the rest of today then?
Yeah, so we're going to do this pre-show. We're going to bring in some of those title contenders and people, you know, maybe some faces we haven't seen on the tour for a while as well. So we're going to do that over the next half an hour or so, and then we're going to bring those guests in, and then we're going to have some of the action on the water as well. So
absolutely. We're going to be doing a little sort of tow-in training session. A few of the riders are going to be heading out. You'll see in the other screen we've got a kind of wide camera view of on the water, so we will be showing that. It's a lot of the rookies, as we've discussed, kind of getting into the competition spirit and just having a go. Quite a few of them have never had the chance to try towing, so they'll be doing it. But I have heard a few of the riders. I think Lennart Neubauer, who of course is a real standout on the towing, I think he will be joining the guys on the water, hopefully doing a couple of runs, showing us how it's done, and potentially a couple of others as well. So that's definitely something to watch out for.
Indeed, and there's someone close by to watch out for during this competition as well, and I'm going to hand you over to him, Sandy. We've got Jentel Kers just here on the side, so I'll...
you duck out, and let's bring Jentel in. This is my sofa area for anyone watching that's wondering this. Unfortunately, I've injured my knee. We're not here to talk about me, but yeah, they've kindly set me up a lovely sofa setup, and everyone keeps stealing my chair. But I don't mind if this man steals my chair. Jentel,
what's
how you doing?
Good, huh?
Yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in an event. I'm really looking forward. I mean, today was an easy start. Fortunately, the wind didn't really kick in. I hoped to see some juniors and girls already ripping, but the forecast for the next days looks amazing.
Yeah.
So nothing to worry about.
No. How's it been? You're one of the riders that came out here a few days early. I guess you just wanted to get a few days training in. What have the conditions been like? Can you kind of give us a lowdown of what people can expect of the conditions over the next few days here?
I've been like 1 week here now, but I have been previous here in at Theologos as well. Toby invited me already some years ago to come out here, so I know the conditions. It's actually, the spot is with lighter winds, more like 5.2, 4.8 condition, but it can be really fun. As there is a little sandbank out, and when the winds start picking up with the side onshore wind, we get a little bit of waves, so it makes it really fun to do like some small back loop, push loop, but you will see a lot of pascos and this kind of maneuver, so I enjoy sailing a bit harder conditions, and it's a fun spot.
Yeah, it's challenging, isn't it? It kind of makes it a bit different, especially in freestyle. A lot of the time people think freestyle is just sort of flat water going along, super technical, but I mean, those of you that follow our social media channels, you'll have already seen, there's a video of Stephen doing a push loop off, a bit of chop or
anything.
Yeah, crazy. Have you got an idea in your head of the kind of moves you want to do, or are you just going to see what the conditions bring?
Of course, I have an idea, but I will just go along for the ride. It's just gonna be on the moment. You know, the perfect chop comes for you in the front for a push loop, you go for a push loop. If it's a good chop for the shifty, you do this. So it's just I have an idea what I need to win against certain riders, but it's just gonna be all depending of what the conditions brings us. And it's freestyle. You just do what you feel at the moment. It's not like I don't make plans at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you've got a bye, haven't you? Because we're a 33 men.
No, actually
draw.
no. I don't really have a bye because they made heat 0 because we're with 33 guys.
Right.
And the elimination ladder is only made for 32 riders. So they will do, before we start the real elimination ladder, they do 1 heat, and the winner from 2 guys, and the winner from that guy is gonna go against me.
Up against you.
So.
Yeah. And how you feeling about the draw? Because as we said earlier, there's a lot of. I know you've competed against them many times before, but how are you feeling? There's quite a lot of heavy hitters, shall we say here. You know, you've got Stevens here. Obviously, you train with a lot. Dieter's come over from Tenerife. Galito's here. Amado. How's your confidence? How are you feeling?
I mean, I always feel confidence. That's the only way. If you want to win, you have to win against everyone. So it's also a bit a mental game.
Yeah.
I always feel confidence, and then I will just see how it goes. I have lost against many of these guys, but also have won against most of them. So it's going to be really interesting. It's hard to say who is going to be the better one for this competition. I think it's going to be really interesting, especially as we didn't have so many competition over the last 2 years, so
Yeah.
it's hard to put yourself or against someone else to see, you know, okay, this guy won more heats in this year or whatever. So
Yeah. And then you say that like 2019, the last year we saw full competition. You had the best year ever, didn't you?
Yeah.
You became world champion and European champion. We spoke in Austria quite a bit about this, about kind of feeling the pressure, but I mean, now we're almost 2 years since then. Are you still kind of feeling that pressure, or have you kind of put that behind you and just focusing on moving forward?
You know, of course, it's a bit of pressure, but from my own experience, I like to have the pressure in competition. It just gives me that extra boost to do some moves that maybe sometimes you cannot do in light wind, and then suddenly in the heat I can bring it out, some moves, like for example. Yeah, I like the pressure.
Yeah.
Some people cannot handle it, but for me, okay, I'm stressed on the beach, but once I go out on the water, I think it gives me this extra little bit just to go bigger and better.
Yeah, for sure. And then finally, I imagine a lot of people watching here are probably freestylers already, or your friends are freestylers, or you're into the sport. But you've recently been with your sports sponsor JP on their website. You've put out a load of tutorial content. So a load of tutorials of kind of moves. It's like pictures, I think, from when you were in Dahab.
Yeah.
Of kind of teaching all these moves. Is that something that you wanted to do, or your sponsors wanted to do that? Because you were also helping with the rookies camp. Is coaching something that you enjoy doing as well?
I'm not really a teacher. Let's keep it like that. I'm a freestyler.
Yeah.
But I really like to see young kids ripping and bringing our future, you know. So I really want to help to get something back. And like you said, we had a lot of footage left of Dahab.
Yep.
So we just said, okay, let's use it, something useful. They did all the thing for the pictures to make it nicely, and I just wrote the text, you know, like it's not like I really told everything in detail from the moves, but I more like give like the main tips and stuff, you know, what I feel like are the things you need to know before starting up the moves. And like I will say to everyone, if you see me on the beach, or most of the riders, if you need tips, just go and ask them. You know, most of the riders, it's like it's a big family for us, you know. Everyone is super friendly, so it just feel
there's no intimidation, is there?
No.
Yeah, I heard you already over chatting to some of the girls, and they were talking, and you were saying like, don't learn to Vulcan, just learn to forward straight away. It's easier, it gets you good points, you know. It's something easy to try.
Yeah, because like especially like a forward, it's an intimidating move to learn in the beginning, but at the end it's the easiest move. Like you will hear every professional windsurfer, everyone who can do the forward say that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just in the mind it's a harder one, but at the end is the easier one to learn.
Yeah. And then, have you got anything? This is something I'm asking all of the kind of top riders. Have you got anything special up your sleeve in terms of moves? Has there any been, or maybe you can give us some gossip if you've been chatting with the guys? I don't know if you've got a group chat, or has anyone done any kind of new moves or new combinations or anything that you can think of?
I know there are a few new things what is possible, but I don't really think this is a spot for really bringing new moves. I'm 100% positive if there is like really strong wind with really good conditions, there are different combinations possible that maybe have been done but never been filmed or never been on competition.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a really easy example, Sam or Steve, my teammate.
Yeah.
He does like crazy triple combination moves in flat water in his home spot, but we've never seen that in competition.
No.
So it's still kind of new for competition, this kind of moves. So yeah, it's all depending what the conditions we will get. But yeah, you never know. We have seen Golito over the last few years always bringing something new. Like, yeah, we will see. But makes it interesting, makes it fun.
Yeah, even things like the, shifty shaka and things like that, people adding an extra 360 onto that, and yeah, I don't think we're far away from seeing that kind of thing happening.
No, I think there is not really something new because I cannot really think of a different rotation or a different way we can do things, but there is a lot of combination things can happen, like with an extra spin with it, with a different style. For sure, these things there are a lot of options,
Yeah, exactly, mate, exactly.
So that's
yeah. Well, Jensel, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure as always, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say go and sail, but you've actually already been sailing. You've been foiling today, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a bit of foiling because after this event we have like 2 weeks before the first foil freestyle event of EFPT, and actually I never really did that. So I ordered the board before coming here, the foil. So I'm kind of training a bit before that.
How are you feeling for that?
I mean, I cannot say I'm confident because I'm not confident with the moves, but I'm looking forward for something new, like a new challenge.
Yeah, you said to me. Oh, sorry, that's tow in skipper's meeting in 5 minutes. Yeah, you said yesterday you were like, if I duck the sail, good, I can do the kudo every time, but it's just getting comfortable with the duck when you're on the foil kind of thing.
Yeah, like even today, I mean, I just did 30 minutes, but I only made one kudo good because all the other kudos, I made the duck, but I'm not really in the right position.
Yeah,
but it's really light. With a bit stronger, it makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, it's fun, it's something new, a new challenge.
Definitely.
I like it.
Nice. Well, I'm sure we'll catch up again, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, guys, if you've got any questions for Jensel, please do it, and we will we'll get it over to him, and we can get it over to him at a later date. And we've got someone else coming to join us now. We've got a young Brouwersdam up and comer, Stera. Am I saying that right, Stera? Stera?
Yeah.
Stera, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah? Is this your first event?
No, not my first event, but first time traveling to.
First time here. Oh, so you've done them at Brouwersdam before?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And then, I mean, we've seen you on Instagram and things. You're landing some flackers, landing spoke scrubbies.
Yeah.
What moves are you learning at the moment?
Shaka and Finnels and Kono.
Nice.
Kono, yes.
Yeah. So how are you feeling for first competition? And at least we're somewhere warm and nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the water is really warm, and I'm really excited, but also a bit nervous because the waves. I'm not really used to.
Yeah, because Brouwersdam is flat,
water, yes.
isn't it? Yeah. But do you? I mean, I've never been to Brouwersdam, but you can sail on the flat, but also you can go on the outside, and there's some ramps and things.
The EFPT at Brouwersdam is also on the outside,
yeah.
So I'm kind of used to it, but the waves here are really different, they said. So
yeah. But it's still good. But it's as Jensel just said, it's kind of one of those things where everyone's a family and everyone's really helpful and things. But I mean, for you as well, because you're still quite young and coming up and things. Do you find it quite intimidating, or because you're at Brouwersdam, which is like there's so many amazing windsurfers there? Do you find it intimidating, or are you like, no, this is kind of cool?
Oh no, I think it's really cool here. So and everybody's helping. Like when you need something, you can ask someone for tips, and they just help you really good. So.
It's good. And then what's your sort of goals for this event? Are you just...
Yeah, I'm not going for anything to win or something. I'm just going here for the experience. And I really would love to land a shaka or something, a new trick or so,
What side are you learning shakas on port tack?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe it's okay.
Yeah. I really hope.
Yeah, it looks... Yeah, if any of you have been watching, I'm sure you've seen, you get these really nice chop from upwind, so hopefully you can kind of, throw a shove it and lean forward a bit more and sheet in. and hopefully make the move. Well, Stera, thank you very much for joining us. Keep an eye out for you on the live stream, and we'll see you around.
Thanks.
Cheers. Okay, that was Stera, guys. I've got lots of guests coming in, and we've got another power freestyle lady, freestyle legend, Olia Raskina, straight from the airport.
Yeah,
straight from the airport.
Straight from the airport.
Yeah, how are you?
Right on the beach, I'm good, thank you.
You made it. I heard you weren't getting here till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're here.
I missed the action for 2 years. I didn't compete in freestyle. There was no Fuerte, no...
Well,
there was probably EFPT or
there's not been... we had an EFPT in April in Austria.
Yeah.
But other than that...
And the ladies?
No ladies. No.
So it's the first event since a while.
So the first one for a while, yeah. How you feeling? Have you been windsurfing a lot the last couple of years?
Only in Dahab.
Yeah.
Because there was no chance we could go anywhere else. But in Dahab, I did quite a lot of freestyle. Yeah.
And how is Dahab? Because I spent a lot of time there. I used to work for Club Dahab. And I work for Nielsen out there as well, and I know quite a lot of you guys, the Russians, you guys tend to go there a lot, and a few of you are still there. What's it like? Because obviously not so many people go anymore. And
it's even more busy than before at the moment. Yeah,
amazing.
Because a lot of local guys from Cairo, Alexandria, but I mean our generation, like active, sporty people, they come to learn how to kite and windsurf. So it's busy.
Yeah.
It's actually busy.
Nice.
It's more like I don't know what to compare. Maybe like Amsterdam at the moment or whatever, because there's many little shops that sell you some like local fashion stuff and everything, food.
Yeah.
There is so many restaurants now.
But hopefully, I mean, I heard a few people, they said maybe it's coming back and more people are going to start going again and things, because it's so amazing for windsurfing there.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, we started winging in Dahab now, and it's growing. Like there's every time it's windy, there will be like about 20 people winging on the water. So
well, I mean, everywhere we're seeing that now. Everywhere you windsurfers, there's people winging as well. And then how are you feeling going into this competition? You know, 2 years. Have you still been training? Any new moves or?
For sure, I've been trying. Yeah. I've been trying hard when I'm there. And for sure, I'm super excited.
Yeah, because in Fuerte you had the shakas, you had the Clufers Piñetas, you had all the moves.
Yes.
And we've got a little man here.
It's my son. Hello. Older one. Next generation.
The next generation, How old are you?
He is almost 6.
Nearly ready. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
Good luck with the competition. I'm sure we'll see you around. And then, guys, as I said as well, if you've got any questions for any of the riders, please do drop them in. We can ask them to Olya or any of the other guys, and we can drop an answer next time we go on the live stream. But go and settle in. I know you've just got here.
For sure. Yeah. It's actually nice because today is quite a bit of resting day.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The next week looks epic.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to have a sick
I think it's going to be great. Yeah, as I said, the forecast looks really good.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Thanks.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Cool. Cheers, Olya.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Okay. And I'm being joined back again by my friend and Big Chief Adam Sims.
That's someone with a wetsuit.
How are we doing? It looks like they are getting ready to start doing a little bit of toe-in action, guys, as we said. But nice to hear from a few of the riders there. Yento Cares, obviously, he's still the reigning world and European champion.
Crazy, I was holding it for a while.
2019. Well, I sort of said to him, I was like, do you still think about that? Because I mean, it's pretty much 2 years ago now. You know,
I mean,
is that something you're still thinking about, or are you?
Of course. I mean, he wants to keep it, doesn't he?
Well, I think so. Yeah, you know, but he's got a lot of people kind of knocking at his door, doesn't he?
And he's got a bit of work here as well, hasn't he? So
he does, but you know, he said he seems really confident. He's been here for a week. He sails here a lot. Yeah, and those of you who follow the Instagram and seen the clips, you've seen like he's not lost it, has he?
I've been watching him now here in training, and it's been absolutely impressive. I mean, we've had just some light winds now in the build-up to the event the last few days, and this kind of spell now where it's backing off. Coming back for the event, it's going to be super good. But in that those days before, he was on fire. I mean, he would go out and pump off the beach and do these big sort of air moves, the pascos, double rotations. just straight here off the beach, like within like 25 meters. So and pulling spot culos in less than ideal conditions for that kind of maneuver. So really impressive.
Yeah. I think that's the remarkable thing of where windsurfing or freestyle windsurfing is going as well. Is it's not so much about doing new moves all the time anymore. I think it's the fact that they can do these moves in just less and less wind. I swear every couple of years they seem to be doing it. I don't know whether it's gear or just the way they're training, but they just seem to be doing it in lighter and lighter conditions every time.
Absolutely. I mean, that's probably been the side that we notice the most. Others may not notice it so much, but we notice the most at the moment, the development of how well these guys and girls are getting planing and doing these moves in these lighter conditions in less and less knots. And they're finding they're using everything they can, the small waves and things like this, and trying to get going.
But the moves, they're not getting smaller either. It's not like they're doing it in less wind, so the moves don't look as good. Like they are still boosting and getting some real height.
That's it. They get like this little bit of speed, and then they find like they're planing before the gust, and then they use the gust, and suddenly they're away. So. It's impressive. So any questions? You're just checking there. Any questions, anyone? Put some comments down there and we can get them answered. We're just tracking down Lennart Neubauer. We're going to try and get him in before he goes on the water here for some of this tow-in action.
Is he going to do some tow-in for us?
I think he's going to go. Yeah, he said he wanted to. I saw his gear actually, I think, on the beach. So
cool.
You can see you have in a couple of weeks after this foil style event over in Geneva.
Yeah.
It's going to be super exciting. The first official international competition in foiling.
Style.
So it's going to be super interesting, and we saw a good show of it already at Engadine Wind where we were for the tow-in, and we saw a good show of the foil style there as they put on a show with some of the Swiss stylers and a few others that showed up as well.
Yeah.
So,
we had this conversation a lot, didn't we, in Austria earlier in the year, discussing what people wanted to see. Did they want to see foil style? Would they rather see tow-in? Did they want to see a few people asking for flow style as well, weren't they?
Yeah, true.
Caesar Fines, the kind of windsurfing that he does out in Bonaire.
Get your rig off and throw it in the air style. So
exactly. The Hail Mary. So there was quite this argument, and some people were kind of wanting tow-in, and some people wanted to see the foiling. So the best we can do is try it and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
And quite a lot of the riders have been training it as well. As I was just saying with Jentel, he's been training it, and Stephen here as well. Even Stephen today came in and did perfect culo.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, these guys, that's what I find super interesting. I had a good chat with Jentel about this, and it's taking a bit of a step back in terms of like the moves and stuff, but higher. Yeah. So it's now we're going to see how well people have trained and adapted to this kind of foil. The whole concept of the foil, of course, is not to take over. Original freestyle windsurfing.
No, well, like we said,
it's just to open the door and the opportunity to those that live on those lakes where there's just not enough wind, really, and they get on the foil, 10 times more than they would with the windsurf gear, and that's exactly the location of Geneva. They get awesome storms, and no doubt during the competition we'll have an amazing
It'll be 35 knots, exactly.
But that'll make the foil style even more interesting.
The only time in a windsurf competition where we want more wind, I would say.
Exactly.
But it's a difficult one because there are people that don't like it, there are people that do, but at the end of the day, as you said, it's just getting more people on the water more often.
There's people out there that love freestyle windsurfing, and they do it on a foil because they can go on the water more, and that's it. We have the perfect opportunity to do a great event. I mean, the organisers are fantastic. Really excited to catch up with them and run that event there, and the location is amazing. It's right there on the edge of the city. I went and visited it myself a few weeks ago, and I had a meeting there about it, and the location, it's right there on the city. There's going to be a nice tow-in show in the evening. If you search it a little bit, you'll see some of those images from the event last year where they did the tow-in, and they have a big wake boat with a proper wave, and the guys were launching huge moves off that wave, and we had Matthias with the winch again, pulling them towards it, so it's certainly interesting. And now, as we talk about tow-in, there's I think the briefing is going on.
They're getting started. A few of the young guys just went past with wetsuits on. I think they're kind of getting ready and getting their gear to have a go. And that's what we're saying with the tow-in. Tow-in requires a lot more logistics and a lot more bits of kit. than just going windsurfing normally. You know, they need generally, like you said, either a winch or a jet ski or something. And for a lot of riders, that's just simply not possible.
Exactly.
So to give them the chance to actually have a go at this, and they probably watched it countless times and always wanted to have a go. So to be able to give them the chance.
Sitting here watching the juniors, the rookies going by.
That's Tigo Court from Browsdam and Raphael Bauer, who I've never met before, but I've seen him on Instagram and stuff, and he's got some moves.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that's the cool thing about this event this time. We have quite a few new faces entering who we know. You know, we've seen them online and stuff like this, or maybe some of us have even sailed with them. And they're entering the competition for their first time, taking part, and I'm really excited to see how they do. I mean, there's so many faces. They're going by now. It's like, you know, I've not seen these guys in real life before.
No, me neither.
Some of them, of course, I have, but there's some that it's going to be super interesting to see how they do and develop over the next years as well. And that's going to be the exciting. Who is the next Jentel Kers? I remember Jentel when he was walking by and going for his first tow-in session, or he was lower down on the rankings, and I remember.
And making his way up. Yeah, back when he was on, he was on Fnatic and it was North at the time, I suppose, on that, and I remember everyone making quite a big fuss about him. Who's this kid? And he's lived up to expectations, like we said.
Exactly.
2 years on, he's still the current reigning world and European champion.
Exactly.
What are your? This is a silly question, but have you got a prediction? Can you give us a bit of hindsight? Obviously, you've been around these guys an awful lot. You've competed against most of them before. Who's your money on in both the men and the women's?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky now.
Yeah.
It's really tricky. The top, you can't even say top 10. There's like top 16 are really good.
Yeah.
But there are standouts for sure, and there are also people who've been here quite a bit. They know the conditions already, familiar with it. They know what moves they do where. They're not trying to find out during competition. I mean, a lot of these guys turned up now just the day before. They haven't had the chance to go on the water, so their first chance is going to be like during the heat or just before the heat, you know, upwind or downwind of the competition area. So that's going to be kind of the super interesting side, and it's going to be it's like someone's dropping in, Sandy, getting some love for the podcast.
Getting some love for my podcast that I run as well.
Thank
you very much.
If you like his voice here, you'll love it.
Thank you very much, Soshka. I appreciate that. That's really cool. But yes, sorry, we got distracted
title
there.
contenders. So yeah, I mean, if we're going to narrow it down, of course, Jentel is right up there. You've got Jakob Testa, who's been here a lot already.
If I'm honest, my money is slyly on Jakob Testa. I would say that's almost, unfortunately for Jakob, well, maybe it's kind of a cool thing, but I would say he is out of the kind of big five. He would almost, you'd say, is the underdog. But in my opinion, because
a
of
bit, kind of. Do
you know what I mean?
He had that title, and then he's kind of like been fighting for it again and again, and always just pipped to the post by someone, and it's just been like he hasn't found his route back there again, and he's thirsty for it. He wants it.
Well, it's very easy to look at the names and go, Amado, Galito, Steven Van Broekhoven, and I feel like Jakob almost kind of falls to the wayside a little bit. And actually, when you think about the experience he's got sailing at this spot, and his second place finish in Austria this year, he is ready for it. And with those new AV boards under his feet, I think it'll be exciting to see how he gets on.
It's interesting seeing quite a few people going out for the tow-in now, so it's nice to see. I mean, Jakob definitely up there, but we can't rule out Amado. He won already in Austria.
No.
We can't rule out the 9-time world champion who showed up, Galito Estrada. Steven Van Broekhoven is always a threat. He's
and while Galito has still been doing he's been doing a lot of winging. A lot of people have said, he's barely been windsurfing since he's been in Lake Garda the last few months, obviously working with ROD and things. I think he's going to be looking to make a statement at this event and say, no, I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm still a threat, and I'm still the 9-time world champion.
100%.
So, he'll also, I guess, be looking to make a statement with his new gear. He's not competed on an international windsurfing event since he changed to RRD. That kind of sponsorship change, I think that was earlier on this year, wasn't it, when he announced that. It was quite a surprise, I suppose, but at the same time, it'd be great to actually chat to him later, and the plan is to maybe chat to Galito about what he's been up to. We've not heard much from him, but I think he'll be a threat. But then, as you said, we can't rule out Steven either. We could sit here for hours and say, you know, sing all of their praises. At the end of the day, as Jentel said earlier, it's just going to be who has the better day, really.
And of course, one young fella as well, up and coming.
Well, yeah,
Mr. Neubauer. I mean, he's having a year like no other at the moment. Seems to be winning everything and doing exceptionally well. So he will really want to kind of prove his worth now in the pro men's fleet and really step up.
Well, as you said to me, the day before yesterday when I arrived, we were chatting about Lennart, and you were very much like, he is an example of someone who is living up to expectations.
Yeah, absolutely,
because he could so easily have done all he did in the youth fleet, and while he's growing up and he's getting so good, and then he kind of gets to the big boys, you could say, you know, he gets to the men's fleet, and then, you know, he kind of crumbles a little bit, and actually, oh my God, this is a different level and things. But he's done the opposite. He's gone on and he's just taken it out, and he's been really intelligent about it. Something I chat to him in Austria a lot about is, you know, leveraging his social media, getting sponsored by Red Bull, that amazing Red Bull ramp project he's done.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
That's the sickest windsurf video I've seen for such a long time.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, that is insane, that video. It's so I watched it back to back 3 times
me
straight.
too.
I literally I played it again. I was like, I have to watch this one more time. Like, it's really insane. If you're wondering what we're talking about, I mean, you just have to Google it, search it, check Lennart's profile. You'll find
windsurfing,
the Red Bull ramp project in Naxos. So
it was incredible.
Sick one, yeah. So
I can only apologise if you're hearing some background noise, guys. The spot we're at, Theologos, we're actually only about 5 minutes away from Rhodes International Airport. So every kind of 20 to 25 minutes, a massive aeroplane flies right over our heads. So sometimes if you get a bit of a distraction and some noise, it is just the planes. Don't worry, we're all good. But yeah, back to Lennart Neubauer. Sorry for the distraction. But yeah, Lennart Neubauer, I think he's also going to be one to watch. And as we know as well, doesn't matter what the conditions are, he'll turn it on.
Yeah.
And if anything, actually, the kind of waves and the choppy conditions we get here, as Jentel was describing, I think they're probably going to work in his favour. He can do, you know, I've heard rumours of shifties both tacks.
Yeah, doubles. He's been in double forwards as well.
Of course, we saw it in Pozo. He put that video up of his first one, which, I mean, the second one was a real endo, but a double forward is a double forward.
Exactly. You know? I mean, pulling around on the second one is committing.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So
and I spoke to Jentel here about it. Just made a joke. Oh, you know, go for the double. The ramps are good enough. And he was like, actually, I've done them here. And he said to me, he was trying to encourage the organizer of this event to go for the forward loop. And I just look at him. He's just walking by. He's here there in an orange T-shirt, just going by. And the organizer wanted to go for his first forward loop. And Jentel said to him, if you go for it, I'll go for a double. Yeah, and then the guy goes for it, and then Jentel just busts out a double forward just here out in this kind of chop. I mean, you saw on the social media Steven van Broekhoven doing that push loop. It's steep chop. There's good ramp, so it's definitely doable.
I mean, that ramp was still about the size of this table. It was still about this high, and somehow Steven did a push loop. He's just got this crazy technique where he manages to just bring the boom round him and keep the sail so horizontal so that the mast doesn't catch.
He just stalls a tiny moment. He goes up, and then he just stalls a tiny moment to get that little extra height before throwing the spin. If you spin straight away, you're not getting quite that height, you know, for the ending. So
here he is,
man of the moment that we're talking about.
We've just been talking about him, and he's just shown up. We've managed to track him down. We thought he was on the water, so Adam's going to leave, and we are going to be joined by the young talent, Mr. Lennart Neubauer. Lennart.
That's me.
How are you, dude?
Oh, good. I'm good today.
Haven't said hi to you yet. You've been floating around. You've been chatting with all the younger guys. Let's get straight into it because we've got a lot to talk about. Yeah. In Austria we spoke, and you said you were doing something really exciting with Red Bull.
Yes.
But you were like, I can't tell you. I assume that was the ramp project.
That was it.
Since you've put that out, go through what that was like, firstly filming it and then the reaction to it. Adam said as well he watched it 3 times over. I must have watched it about 10 times. Like my phone, we were all my mates, we were sending it to each other. What was that like? Was that your idea? Was that Red Bull's idea? Can you talk us through what that was like?
Sure. So the idea kind of came from my friend and coach Stan Probonas. He built the first ramp years ago, I think, by himself.
Yeah.
and it was like super prototype-ish with wood that he found like in the ocean, you know, because it's quite expensive as well to build those ramps out of wood and the pipes.
Yeah.
So it was such a shaky construction, and he was actually the first one who actually tried it in the lagoon of Naxos, and it worked quite well. So I had my go on it as well, and it's just such a weird feeling because you're not used to just going over such a hard thing with your windsurf. You know, when you hit a wave, it's just super smooth, but there it's just like a boom the first time you hit it, and you're like, wow, it feels great. And actually I never got stuck with the fin, because that's the first question everyone asks me, hey, but what happens if the fin, no, it doesn't work like that. So we have like a seaweed fin, which is super exaggerated.
Yeah,
so
I saw, yeah.
There's absolutely no way that I get stuck. And from there, it was, let's say, the idea, because when I got into the Red Bull family, we had the idea, hey, what cool project thing could we do?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, there is like a ramp that I've tried at home, and there's not many people who have done it in the past. And that was kind of the go-to thing. And from there on, we were figuring out on what exactly we want and how we want the setup. And then we ended up deciding that like a ramp park setup would be cool, like an actual skate park, but in the water.
Yeah.
And this was the idea behind the video, I guess.
Yeah. Because you had like, from what I saw, maybe you can tell me, you had ramps at different angles, didn't you? So you had a ramp that was like facing downwind to do a ponch and things. Yeah. And then you had other ones at kind of different angles. What was the scariest move to try?
Oof. Okay, the scariest move was to go switch and to duck before the ramp. You cannot imagine how much fear that was going through my mind, because you can imagine if I miss my duck or something, it's not like I can turn around. I'm just straight facing the ramp, and I was fully catapulted.
You got no choice.
Onto it.
Yeah.
So either I make the duck on that really weird fin that is just
it was like channels in the back of the board almost.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
pretty much. So it was really tricky. It was easy to hit the ramp, although it was also quite narrow. It was like a meter or so.
Right.
So I could have placed two boards next to it. So I had to really time it well and aim right. But I was really lucky, because we got that take with a burner that I did. We did it in 20 shots, so I was lucky that it didn't spin out.
Nice.
But also the punch in the beginning was quite
I bet,
because you're going really fast downwind and then you're letting go with one hand. It's just really crazy, but it was actually one of the safest moves once I got into it.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah. And then all my friends, they're all their favorite one. My favorite, I think, might have been the punch, because I just thought it was sick. But
so cool.
A lot of the other people said that they loved the shaka like grind almost. Yeah.
I believe that if the rail now was 3 meters long, but if it would have been 6 or even 10 meters long, it would have been so much better, because now I was on the rail, I had the feeling of, whoa, I'm just sliding around. But if it would have been longer, I think it would have looked even sicker. Although to me it felt like I was on there for a long time. It doesn't look. I checked the footage after. I was like, okay, yeah, we should have made it a bit longer.
Yeah.
And I think for the future, if we make something like that again, we know exactly what we want and what we're aiming for right now. Then.
And then is that the plan? Is that the plan? Would you like to see? Would you like to see some ramps in competition? Would you like to do another project?
Definitely. The idea is up there now, and we know what we have to do. So I'm really up for that, because I think windsurfing, I mean, why do you have wakeboarding? Why do you have ramps, you know? So I think that it's just natural that you can make a wind park as well. And as we saw, it works completely fine. You just have to modify a few things with the fin, just so everyone could have like a different go or setup with their own brand, with own gear.
So did you basically did you like sacrifice one of your boards? Were you like, okay, this is going to be the one that we're going to use?
Yes.
And what did you do? Did you have to reinforce it at all, or?
So no, actually I got sent from Starboard a brand new one. I was like, hey guys, I'm planning to do this project. It would be really sick if you could send me an extra board over, just a normal Ignite.
Yeah.
And the only thing that once happened, I hit the rail, like the edge of the rail when I tried to pop on it, and it broke a little bit. But other than that, we were shooting for a week straight, 5 or 6 hours per day, and the board handled it like a champ. So I'm still riding that board.
Oh, really?
It's pretty much in new shape. And that was really cool. And once I did a backy And then on the landing, my sail ripped apart because it was just so much force. Because you know, when you put in the nose, then your sail is fully flexing.
Goes like that, doesn't it?
Exactly, and then it opened. But no, it was cool, and we didn't have any injuries or gear malfunctions apart from that. So I'm really stoked on that.
Oh,
wow.
Big culo there. I'm not sure who that was.
It was Tigo.
It was Tigo
from Holland.
Yeah, really nice culo there from Tigo. Well, that brings me nicely onto the tow-in. Yeah. So you've been doing the tow-in. I think you're currently leading the tow-in rankings for this year. I mean, the last time I saw you, we were doing the tow-in in Austria, and you did that huge scopu, air scopu almost, and then you did the same in Switzerland as well. How are you feeling about the tow-in? Is that something you still want to keep on? Because we did a questionnaire with all the riders when they registered this morning, and there's quite a few riders that are not that sure on tow-in anymore. They don't really like it, and you know, there's all this chat, but you still seem to be really enjoying it.
Yeah, I believe that I get their point. You know, it's if you under certain circumstances, if you don't have a wave, it's also if you have a wave, it's a little bit one-sided. I don't know, like the double air burners is the most natural. Not many people do Scopu, Kabi, Coma rotation, so it's
it can all look the same a bit.
It can all look the same, especially also for the crowd. They love towing. The crowd loves towing, but the riders, you know, it is a bit of fear because once you're going 70 kilometers per hour, you can get quite a good smack on your back or on wherever. So it's a bit of fear, but I mean, if we compare windsurfing to skating, we are little Lulus next to them, because if you see how they're crashing and how we are crashing, it's just...
and they are hitting concrete.
Exactly, and they're hitting concrete. Next 5 minutes, they're fully bruised. They stand up, hey, let's try again. And this I would like to push into windsurfing as well, because that's the same reason, I believe. It's just the fear that people don't try the ramps.
For sure.
It's not that they don't like or anything. It's just that they're afraid of hitting the ramp. So
what do you do, like when you're learning something new, or you know, for the ramps and stuff? If you do have a bit of fear, if you are a bit scared, do you have something that you do to kind of get that out? And what sort of advice would you give for someone watching, and if they're, you know, wanting to try something new, learn a new move, or anything like that?
Just compare yourself to skaters. That's what I have been doing the past year. I've just been online checking skate videos, failing, everything, just in other sports, because now if we compare ourselves to other windsurfers, we see that there's not many big crashes, and if there's a big crash for us, it's a big thing, and for a skater, he would look at us, be like, hey man, what come on, get
Don't
up,
worry, you're
stop
okay.
crying, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's just the biggest thing, compare yourself to other sports. And what helped me is also have friends around that are crashing the same, or trying also high risk, let's call them like that, moves. So you're not the only one sending it. That helps a lot, you know, with the motivation.
For sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's always difficult if you're like by yourself trying things.
Yes.
This is what we always said, because I taught for many years at Club Vass, and a lot of the instructors there are amazing. Max Rowe was an instructor there for years, one of the best freestylers, and Jamie Howard and things. So it was one of those things where it's almost, it kind of sucks when you're the best person on the water.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anyone else to be like, oh, you know, there's no one pushing you. You know. So is that why do you feel like you get quite a lot from sailing with, you know, Steven and Yentl and all those boys?
Yeah, I feel like if I'm here 1 week with those guys, that it's like I'm whoa, I hear the crowd.
I heard the crowd,
crazy.
I saw a big crash. I saw him catapult.
The end.
Maybe we'll see a replay.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say is that a week, if I'm 1 week sailing with those guys, it's like I'm training 1 month alone.
Yeah.
Just from the things that I see, from the techniques to the powerful style, it's just a big motivation. Then I feel like also when I went to Poser, there's pretty much 15 people, 20 people, let's say 15 that are better than me in wave, and that's not like every day like that. So I really enjoy the time and watching, especially watching. If you're at that place, if you're lucky enough to find yourself sailing with Philip Koster, go to the beach, sit down 10 minutes and look what the hell he's doing, because it's just amazing.
Incredible.
And sailing next to them,
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Well,
you improve by the minutes.
But you learned to double forward as well, didn't you? You put that on your social media, and it's cool. It seems to be happening a lot more on social media. You didn't try and like play it as like, oh, a big one, or anything. You were really honest, and you were like, yeah, this is my first one.
Yeah.
It could be better, but hey, it's my first one. And I think a lot of people are starting to really appreciate that now on social media, is being honest and being like, yeah, it's my first one. I'm gonna get better at it. I'm gonna keep training. You know.
The thing is, what I've never actually told anyone is that I have it on video that I've done starboard tack doubles last year October.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna practice it a bit better, and then when I have it, let's say unlock, I will publish it.
Yeah.
I've never really published that starboard tack double, and I kind of knew what's happening, but not really, because a different tack is just such a weird feeling. So I think it helped a little bit, but also not. And my first double on Pozo was my first double try was a hard landing on the head. Then I came out, and then the next day I was like, okay, let's do it, because I saw Liam Dunkerbeck as well going for it, and I was like, come on. Let's do it now. I'm here for 3 weeks.
That's why you're here.
I promised to myself that I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And
You left feeling good about it.
Yeah. I was so happy, because I was like, okay, I'm here for it, and now I did it. Now I can relax and do whatever else I want.
So is wave something that you want to get into in the future, or?
Wave is definitely something I want to get into, just because of the adrenaline that you feel. It's just crazy. It's a different feeling than freestyle. Freestyle, if you land a sick double culo, the feeling of the move itself, the landing is amazing. And then if you do a crazy double or a nice tweak push loop, it's just the airtime and the feeling that you have in the air that is just so amazing about it. And that's why I think I would really appreciate myself going into the wave, and it's cool because there's so much to learn there. So much, from style to landings and air and riding the waves, that's just, if you can read the waves, for me it's just such a gift. So it's really cool.
Well, that's it. It's just a whole different environment, isn't it?
It's good.
Well, thank you very much, dude. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, for sure. We'll chat to you later at some point. Well, guys, there we go. Lovely to chat to Leonard Neubauer. He's always up for an interview, always up for a chat. As I said, in Austria, and I'll say it again here for those listening who perhaps weren't tuning in Austria, and if not, why weren't you? But yeah, he's just so smart. At his age, I mean, he's not even, I think he's 18. And he's just being so smart about everything he's doing, whether it's leveraging his social media, hunting down sponsors, or even just here being up for coming and doing interviews. There's a few riders that kind of shy away from it, but he's just fully up for it, and he's always up for a chat and happy to tell us what he's been up to. As Adam said, Adam's back, everyone.
Excellent to hear from him. He's
from Leonard,
cool, calm, and collected. Very professional young man, and I mean, what a balls to the wall, no holds barred attitude as well, eh?
Yeah, I just love it. I love that attitude of, and I think it's something we could all learn from. It's something for me as well. I'm still learning in my windsurfing, is getting rid of that fear, and it's quite. It's almost a nice attitude to have with sport and learning new things in sport. Is being able to look at other sports and go, do you know what? We're not hitting concrete.
Yeah.
I'm hitting water. I might bump myself, or I might, hurt my ear, hurt my knee, but actually skaters, they hurt themselves, they're out for 6 months. Windsurfers, even if you really badly hurt yourself, usually 6 weeks at worst. And actually looking...
My worst one was 3 months. Then I was back on the water a bit, but it did take about 6 months. I mean, that was a bad one. That was a classic skater one. It was the ankle. It just blew the ankle out.
Yeah.
So, just
blew my entire foot out.
It was bruising. The surgery was even worse, I tell you.
Yeah.
Horrible.
We're probably going to be telling some war stories. As I said, unfortunately, I hurt my knee just before I came out here, and I'm on crutches, so I can't do very much. So that's why we've got this beautiful setup here. As Adam said to me in the message when I messaged you saying, can I still come? Even though I can't walk, and you said, you don't need your legs, we just need your voice. And the competitors have legs, we can bring them to you. So the event organisers kindly set up this amazing little tent. with some some nice little sofa
setup here, haven't we? We've got. I mean, we're right by the water. It is. You can see behind us there is just someone stealing our chair. It is just 20 meters, no, 10 meters away, isn't it? I mean, it's that close. The judging tower. You'll start to see those scenes when we show the highlight reels and things like that on our social channels. So make sure to tune into all of that stuff as we share it around, and you start to see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a few of you watching, so yeah, please make sure if you're watching either on the Facebook or the YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know where you are, who you are, where you're from, where you're watching from, and yeah, who do you think is going to win? As I said, the forecast is looking great for the next few days. Starting tomorrow, hopefully we'll ease ourselves in tomorrow, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look pretty full power. So fingers crossed. And the forecast, as you said, is getting better. So it looks like we should be able to get through everything. Toyn van Brockhoven, I assume you're a relative. Good luck, B72, old man. Oh, what a wonder.
I think that's his dad, isn't it? Or
it's definitely it's Van Brockhoven.
Tony. Yeah. So
Tony, Toyn,
old
Tony.
Man.
Yeah. Good luck.
I mean, there's no denying it. Stephen's definitely getting on the older side for the freestyle discipline, you would think. But it seems like he's kind of showing the critics how it's done, and
you wouldn't know
Kelly Slater on everyone. And
well, exactly. When is he going to retire? I don't think he is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, and you can also follow us on Instagram, guys, at EFP Tour. And yeah, for all the updates and what's going on. It looks like you can see from the other screen, just down. Oh no, mirrored down there. You can see the Mystic Boy there. Quite a few of the riders are kind of holding on to that buoy, and then they are doing a bit of towing practice.
Just some training. I mean, that's the good thing. We can use up these light wind days, with some nice towing shows and training as well. Because in the end, there is other sides of the sport. There are towing events, or towing could factor in if the competition had no wind. Then towing starts to count. So it looks like these guys are gearing up with 5-2s, Jentel and Stephen. So
Jentel and Stephen looks like they're heading out on the foils. So yeah, you guys may see a bit of that action as they go past. You can see in the camera Jentel and Stephen walking past. They're holding his sail. Yeah, I mean we've talked about it already, but we've seen them doing some nice foil freestyle.
That's it.
You see on the EFPT Instagram story, Stephen doing a really nice culo on the foil. As you said, they're kind of, Jentel was saying, they're sort of training up for this event in a couple of weeks in Geneva.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're just getting ready for that, which is cool. I mean, it's definitely tricky. I've tried it myself, and it's like the finesse you need when you do the moves in foil style is completely different. Like you can't really muscle it, you can't just be like, I'm just gonna make the sail duck, and it doesn't matter how gusty it is or whatever, just throw it with all your power and make it happen, which you can get away with freestyle windsurfing. You can really, power can give you a lot and make you make a lot happen that would normally not happen if if you didn't have so much strength or something. So I mean with the foil, you need to finesse it, you need to if you're going to duck it, you got to get it really perfect. You got to think about the balance of the board on the foil. You don't want to come off the foil.
No.
And at the same time, you have to think about diving the board and then pushing it back up. So
it's a different popping technique on top of all the other things you've just said.
Then you've got all the slappy moves from Slappy Jack. Jack Muller, the brother of Bals Muller, has kind of invented this new discipline almost.
Slap style.
Slap style. It's this kind of new, he calls it slappy moves, and it's all where the foil just kind of like, it does the moves without really taking off.
The foil doesn't come out.
The foil's skimming the top of the surface, slapping the chop and things like this. And he's doing a lot of the moves, like the culo.
They're almost like bobs, kind of bob culo things. But the actual wings of the foil don't come out of the water.
It's just slap along the top and rip through the water. And it looks cool when you watch it.
It's really stylish,
It's really stylish. So he's going to be at this event. It's going to be interesting watching him as well. So he's
the Swiss boys.
Yeah, cool.
So
I think as we kind of watch the sundown going here and the towing going on, we
got, looks choppy there. We've got someone on a duotone. I apologise, I'm not too sure who that is. As we said, I think it's a couple of the younger guys. Whoa!
Throwing a burner.
Whoever it is, he knows what he's doing there. That was a sick. Yeah, just over-rotated a burner there. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, training the moves, getting prepared for the competition.
Absolutely.
And making the most of the you know, the facilities available during a competition as well. So, I mean, everyone listening at home, who's your money on? Who do you think is going to win this event and take the victory here and the title for this year? So, I mean, that's the big one. Is this one's going to really decide the title? It's worth a lot of points. You know, it's a full 5-star event, and it's really worth a lot. So we're going to have.
That's why we've got so many riders here. You know, that's what we're seeing, and that's why it's so great to be here. You know, I personally, for me, if I'm honest, I think my highlight already. I've never seen Galito sail in person.
Have you not?
No.
No way.
I've been to Cape Town many times. I've been to Brazil, all this. I've never seen Galito sail in person, so I'm excited to see that. I'm also very excited to see Jacopo Testa. Those of you who watched the live stream in Austria will know that I was very excited to see Stephen do some barracudas.
Yeah, sick move, isn't it?
But here,
wind move, it's completely sick.
My move here that I'm excited to see. We saw a teaser of it earlier. Is Jacopo Testa doing an air canabrava?
Yeah, exactly.
That is the one. If we see that in competition,
you're gonna eat your hat.
I'm gonna. Well, I maybe won't. It's my only EFPT hat, so maybe I won't eat it. Maybe I'll eat another one of my hats.
So you got a few at home.
Yeah, I've got a few at home. Yeah, I forgot them. But yeah, that's the move I want to see. So let us know what moves you guys would like to see as well. Yeah, ever since I saw the Air Canabrava again, it was Galito in a Kuma movie from 2010, I believe. We were all obsessed with it in Egypt, purely because he did this Air Canabrava, and it's such a sick move.
It is.
But you very rarely see it, because I imagine you get absolutely whipped if you get it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've attempted like this kind of move, and as you go around, you see it in Japo's video, this one we put up just yesterday, I think. As you kind of duck and you go around, you do get this whip of the board and the mast pushing down, and it just whips around.
And if you don't catch it in time,
like this,
if you don't catch it in time, you're in a spot of bother.
Yeah,
I mean, I do normal Canabravas, and it's a really great feeling move. If any of you are kind of at that stage where you can kind of do some flaccas, and you're perhaps wanting to think about learning something new, learn the Canabrava, because it's such a fun move to do, and it always gets you some style points.
Exactly, and it trains you a lot as well for other moves like the funnel clock.
Yeah,
funnel clock is a personal favourite of mine. I love that move, and it's.
You can also, when you're learning shakas and things like that, if the board doesn't quite rotate all the way, and you kind of land and like stall a little bit. If you're quick enough, you can kind of bring it round and actually land. You come round the rest of the way, clue first.
I
mean, it won't be clean, but you'll land. Rather than just sort of falling in backwards.
It's very hard not to over rotate when you do that. When you do that duck, it's very hard to not end up over rotating
with the clue into the wind at the end. Exactly.
It's a tricky one. So.
Yeah, it's a good skill to have.
Yeah, it's seriously some exciting moves coming up, no doubt, and really looking forward to that. Looking forward to see everyone on the water, the guys, the girls. I mean, we got to talk about the girls as well. I mean, Micah Hoofman is
We didn't even talk about it. Yeah, I apologise. Well, you got Lennart showed up because we got distracted. I was talking to you about who your money was on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we discussed the men. So what about the ladies? There's, unfortunately, a couple of the heavy hitters in the women's fleet, they aren't here.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame they couldn't make it. It would have been really nice if they were here.
But still, we've got some talent here.
Exactly. Yeah, we have. And Micah Hoofman, of course, is one of them. The only girl really to beat Sarah Kitov-Ringer, untouchable.
She's the only girl to ever beat Sarah Kita in a heat.
Yeah.
I believe it was, I want to say Bonaire 2019.
In a freestyle heat. Yeah.
In a freestyle heat. Yeah. Bonaire 2019, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and also on the EFPT.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Browsdam, she also won one of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, well, there we go. Beating her twice. But Micah Hoofman, she has all the moves.
Yeah.
And she can even do a few of them both tacks as well. Yeah. She's got, double spocks, culos, shakas, spot culos, burners, air funnels, konos. She's got all the power moves you need. So it'd be really exciting to see her, especially here, as we said, where we've got some waves and some chop. It'll be exciting to see how she deals with that.
Indeed.
But I mean, I was down in Cornwall in the UK in October last year. Me and my girlfriend were down there for a week of surfing, and it so happened to chime in with this huge storm through Europe. So it was about 45 knots every day. So we actually brought our windsurf kit, and I went windsurfing at a spot down there called Damer Bay.
Yeah,
it's a really good windsurf spot down in Cornwall, and genuinely pretty much every windsurfer in the UK was at Damer Bay that day.
Oh, really?
And Micah was also there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Micah's boyfriend Sean, who regularly films for us on the EFPT, but they were down there doing some filming.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was not easy conditions. I mean, it was windy, but it was so gusty and inconsistent waves and things, and she was making it look like it was glass flat, the nicest conditions you've ever seen. Really. Like huge culos, amazing shakas, everything. And I was barely like either getting planing or holding on, and she was really making it look far too easy.
Well, cool. I mean, good that she can adjust to different spots. That's something that when people train at these flat spots and stuff, sometimes they can really get stuck, and it takes a long time to adjust. I know myself, I was really training flat spots for a long time, and it took me really a couple of years to adjust to sail and chop, and then actually I started to find it quite fine to sail and chop. You adapt your style a bit and you start to realize actually switch off the chop in your mind. Just imagine imagine you're just on a surface of water, don't think about what the state is, just do your moves like it's flat water,
focus on the move. Exactly.
And, the only thing is you have to absorb the timing a bit as you pop. If you get a bit of chop underneath, you might need to absorb a bit on a spot.
Bend the knees again, wait for the trough, and then go for the move. Exactly.
So Micah is definitely a strong contender for this event. We can say. One girl we were discussing with earlier, Stera, up and coming. I mean, you were having a chat with her.
Really impressive. Like, she's learning fast and learning moves. I've always said, like, girls seem to learn moves in a bit of a different way to boys. That's where they tend to leave the flacker quite late. They tend to learn other moves first and things. The flacker can be, I don't know whether it's because it can be a scary move to learn.
It's a bit unnerving,
It is a bit,
because it's that first move you might do where you really must throw yourself over your equipment into your gear. You have to commit everything into like just trusting that you will go around in that move. And a classic crash is the back foot comes out, you hesitate, you don't want to go, and then your gear goes. And if you just stayed in, you would have done the perfect backer. But we've all done it. I mean, you end up lying down the nose of the board with your front foot still in the strap somehow, usually not breaking it and destroying it, but there's occasions where it has has caused people some ankle sprain, myself included. And
Micah Hooverman's coming in just behind the camera. Sorry there, guys. Exactly. It can be intimidating, but Stera, as I said, she's already doing flackers. She's learning funnels. I think I've seen some videos of her getting close to shakas. She's coming on really quick, and she's still young.
Exactly.
She's only 16.
16, isn't she?
It's a bit of like the kind of Lennart situation as well. Of actually, is she going to stay on the path? And
we'll be talking about her for years to come. I'm sure of that. You think? So like Lennart as well. Lennart has a very bright future ahead of him. And you don't actually think when he's going to get the title. You think more, how many is he going to get? And Stera could very much go down that route as well. I mean, she's really
she's in the perfect environment. She's a Browers Dam local. That place has bred so many amazing sailors. And so many top PWA sailors call it home.
Absolutely.
And then
she's got the likes of Micah as kind of
a mentor.
A mentor.
Absolutely. And then we can't take anything away. Of course, she just came in there straight off the plane. Russian freestyle legend Olya Raskina. She's been on the scene for a very, very long time, but for good reason. She's again another one who's got all the moves. She can do get some shakas in her heat. Quite a few of the switch moves, everything.
Exactly. I mean, and she has been a talent on the tours for years and years, and she knows competition. She's super relaxed about it. Here with her family, and her husband's just been on this incredible adventure up north. I mean, just go check this out on social media.
He's an amazing photographer, isn't he?
Unreal photographer, and really phenomenal stuff. So maybe we're going to grab Micah in there.
Yeah, let's grab Micah. She's soaking wet, but that's all right. No, come and sit here, Micah. It's fine. Okay, no, maybe don't. Oh, no, we can see you. Sorry, Micah, you're not allowed to sit on the sofa.
It's all good?
We were just talking about you, actually. We were just saying. Well, let's get it from you. Did you just go? Were you doing some toe-in runs?
Yeah, but it was so hard.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because it's choppy and windy, So if it's one of the two, it's all right, but
it's hard to hold on and try to set something up.
So I was gonna go switch first, because in normal sense it's harder, right, with the toe-in. So, but then I tried and I couldn't really get the sail up, as most of the guys couldn't either. But and then I was like, okay, whatever. It's just easier normal stance, and then at least I got up. But then, the chop sort of threw me off guard a bit, and then I ended up just doing a jump. Anyway, it was fun.
It's fun, yeah. You got your hair wet. You've gone out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good.
Did something for the day.
Yeah, exactly. The first day, you might as well go out and give it a go.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this event? We were just talking about your sailing, and I know maybe this is a bit awkward, but talking about how good you are, how amazing you are, and all these moves that you can do, and the only girl that's ever beaten Sarah Kita in a freestyle heat, and things like that. How are you feeling? Is this your first competition in quite a while, I guess?
I was speaking to some of the judges earlier on today, and I think it's been like about 2 years now. Yeah, it's really long, but at the same time, it feels like I haven't. You know, it's just all normal again.
Well, you haven't missed anything. It's not like there's been events that you haven't gone to. Everyone's on the same page, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So in that sense, I mean, it has been 2 years, but I didn't even like really notice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really nice, you know, and it's really good to see the EFPT like pushing the girls and that they put an event on for us, and I think that's really good. And also, there's some new girls here competing, which we don't see that often. So actually, that's a good sign as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to see you. Yentel here was saying as well. You know, it's not an intimidating thing at all. It's all about, you know, just getting people involved and getting people stuck in.
And people get motivated and they'll learn quicker and maybe they inspire other girls, and for the guys as well, I guess it works the same, of course. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really great.
And how are you feeling for the conditions here? You know, obviously you're a Browsdam local. Browsdam is not known for its waves.
Not really.
So yeah, how are you feeling about the conditions? Have you got an idea in your head of the kind of moves you want to do?
Yeah, so I went out Monday, and that was quite hardcore because, you know, obviously I came from Browsdam. I didn't do that much training because I worked quite a lot over the summer.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a shocker. The first session, I heard some people on the beach being like, "Oh, what happened to Micah?" But
no,
it's all good. Like yesterday, I went to Prasanisi and I sort of got back into it.
Cool.
And I think I'll be fine. It's just, you know, always that first session on a new spot. It's sort of getting used to it. And yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's mainly going to be jumping moves. You know, like shakas, forwards, that kind of stuff. I think any sliding moves on the outside here is kind of killing. So
but you do the jumping moves and things. You do them on port tack anyway, don't you?
Yeah, most of the moves I can do on both tacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, you know, for all the PWA and stuff, it's anyway better usually on port. So. I mean, it's kind of comparable to Varta. I don't know. You've probably been to Varta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it feels like comparable to Center One a bit.
Yeah.
So not the greatest, but
no. Yeah, gusty and choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I mean, the forecast looks great. So so fingers crossed.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good. Yeah. Perfect. Well. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go and get dry.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we'll catch up later on.
See you later.
Perfect. Cheers. I'll take that. Cool. Again, always good to hear from Micah Hooverman. As we said, we were just chatting about her. It's just great to actually have another event on. Obviously, you know, whilst we may be out of the woods with everything that's going on in the world, you know, we're still not back to normal. You know, it's still trying times. It's still difficult to travel, and a lot of people are still hesitant to kind of, you know, come to an event and things like that. So we're very grateful to actually be able to put it on. And once again, thanks to Surf and Kite Theologos and the Alex Beach Hotel for putting us on and hosting us. Going to the big screen there, you just saw Stephen van Broekhoven going for a Kabakuchi on the foil. Perhaps not something we've really seen before, but as me and Adam were saying, these guys are really, really training the foil freestyle in preparation for the foil event coming up in a couple of weeks in Geneva. You know, there's a little bit of wind out there, as Micah said. It's quite difficult for the foiling, for the towing, because it's a mix of wind and chop. And as she said, if you get one, it's okay. If you get the other, it's okay. But put the two of them together, and it just starts to be that kind of awkward. Could we actually be windsurfing? But probably not. So yeah, it's quite difficult. And I think, guys, we are going to leave it there for this evening. Everything is winding down. We've got a beautiful sunset coming down. That is the end of day one here in Theologos. As I said, unfortunately no wind to start the competition, but a little bit of a tow-in show, a little bit of an update from some of your favourite riders. Hopefully some of the riders, you know, had some great chats with them, and we'll be looking to do that again tomorrow. As I said, the skippers meeting tomorrow, and the first possible start will be at midday local time. But yeah, we'll have to see. Usually, the locals and the guys have said usually here the wind tends to pick up at around 2 o'clock. The forecast is looking quite good for tomorrow, but especially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the forecast is looking much better. So yeah, fingers crossed we are in for a few days of full-on action. But yeah, guys, I will sign out. Finally, please do give us a follow on Instagram at EFP Tour. You can like our Facebook page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you guys will get full updates and notifications of when we are going live so that you don't miss out on any of the action. Yeah, cool guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.